What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is going to be Love and Hip Hop in New York, Season 9, Episode 3. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. Now, let me say this to you guys. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to rock with this. I'm just going to be honest with you. You're getting this review late because I started watching the episode on Monday night. I couldn't even finish the episode. It was irritating me that bad. Like, I had to cut it off. I was like, all right, I'll do the review tomorrow. I'll finish watching it, and I'll do the review tomorrow. And then I finished watching the review last night, and I had some other situations that I couldn't actually do the review. But as I'm watching the episode, so much of it is so... I don't even know how to describe it, y'all. But let me just jump in it, and as I go through, I'll tell y'all what it was that was just irritating me. So we started the episode off with... JuJu and Yandy talking, and JuJu basically expressing how upset she was about the whole she's private, because she says to her private in her mind means sneaky, and she doesn't think that she's a sneaky person, and she was really upset with Jonathan for really calling her that. And then Yandy says, well, you are a little, you are private. And JuJu takes offense to it and says, well, what do you mean? And Yandy says, well, last year when you broke up with, Cameron, you didn't tell nobody. And JuJu was like, look, I was with this man for 10 years. It was a hard breakup. I had to process before I felt like talking about it, sharing it with my friends. I had to process. So I don't think that makes me sneaky. I just, just wasn't ready to talk about it. Okay, but see, you're the one that equated sneaky and private. That's private. And it's okay to be private. More people should fucking be private. And no, you don't have to talk about anything you're not ready to talk about. However, as a friend, that's the same thing they were doing at the beginning of the season with Married to Medicine. You can't be mad at somebody because they don't want to talk to you about their personal life. However, as a friend, I can understand the inkling to want to be there for your friend and to want to support your friend. But again, you can't be there to support anybody until they're ready for you to support them. But JuJu, for you to just automatically take offense to it and say, oh, well, I think he was trying to say I was sneaky, and I'm not sneaky. No. Now, Jonathan did that, but to me, I wouldn't hear the word private and automatically think sneaky. I wouldn't hear that. But okay. So there was that. Then that storyline ain't really getting on my nerves. It's just stupid. Then we had Jacquay, Rich Dollaz. Now this is the storyline that started getting on my nerves. Excuse me. Basically, Rich Dollaz has a new artist he's representing. What's her name? Oh shoot. It's in my notes. I'll check it in a second. And then Jacquay has an artist that he's working with that used to work with Rich Dollaz, I guess, on a couple of seasons ago before I started watching the show. And the two of them have some sort of conflict. But they both agree to, well, can you help me? I'll support you working with this artist if you'll support me with that artist. Okay, cool. All right, boom. There's that. Then we see, this is where the episode started getting on my nerves. Jonathan is still upset, talking about something. They ruined my birthday. These people ruined my birthday. And he's upset, and he wants to have Kimbella and Anais apologize because he blames Anais for blowing the situation out of proportion, or out of proportion with JuJu. And he blames Kimbella because he said that Kimbella tried to basically throw him under the bus or have him hanging, because she didn't back him up when he tried to tell JuJu that she was sneaky. She didn't back you up because you lied. Because Kimbella never agreed with you. Kimbella never said that, she said that JuJu could be private and that you have to earn her trust. Well, that's with most people, and that's what should be. Like, you should have to earn somebody's trust. You shouldn't just automatically... somebody meet you and they automatically tell you their deepest, darkest secrets. Like, JuJu is discerning with who she shares her information with, and she should be. More people should be. So he calls all of them down there together for lunch. Sin is there. I don't know why she did. Once again, she just sat on the sideline looking crazy, but she was there. Excuse me. And first, you had Jonathan sort of confront Anais. And then Jonathan and Anais did that yelling back and forth shit that they always do, and getting loud with each other and going into their Spanglish where they half English, half Spanish. Let me tell you something. That whole scene was so contrived and not even done well. Jonathan asked Kimbella to keep a straight face. Anais wasn't saying shit. It was just ridiculous. It was so over the top, and it was so extra and so stupid. Like, first of all, Jonathan, nobody fucking ruins your birthday. Like, then he turns to Kimbella, and Kimbella was like, hold up, what you not getting ready to do is bring me in this bullshit. And, you know, she stood firm in what she said. She was like, no, you tried to make it seem like I said something that I didn't say. I never, you know, that JuJu is my friend, and I never said anything negative towards JuJu or about JuJu. And so for you to try to turn that around on me and make it seem like it was something that it wasn't, that's my problem. I got a problem with that. Honey, that turned into another back and forth, hollering, yelling, back and forth. And Kimbella ended up just walking away. That storyline is going to get on my nerves if they continue to move that a whole lot further. It's going to really irritate my soul. Then we see JuJu meet up with Remy Ma at a fashion show. I mean, at a fashion shoot. Remy Ma is beautiful. I love me some Remy Ma, y'all. I love her to death. And JuJu recaps the whole situation with the whole sneaky, I'm not sneaky, sneaky, I'm not sneaky. And, you know, Remy was like, look, I just think it's a misunderstanding. I don't think Yandy meant anything negative or meant anything, you know, but, you know, just a little out of control, you know. We're going to sit down. I'm going to sit down and we're going to mediate this and work it out. Again, that's another place where this storyline started getting on my nerves. Do we really have to have a sit down about this? Like, is it that serious that, like, first of all, as friends, I should be able to tell you how your actions affected me or how I see your actions without it turning into a major situation where we got to have a sit down. And Remy Ma, really, like, I get it that you don't really like to get in a whole lot of the basic shenanigans, but do we really have to have a sit down? So later on in the episode, we see them have a sit down with Remy Ma, like, you know, moderating the whole thing. And they, I guess, clear the air. And then JuJu says, well, since we talking, did you call my ex? Because, you know, me and him had an amicable situation going on. And then, you know, he said he talked to one of my friends. And I was talking shit about him. And so now, you know, then he had an attitude with me. JuJu was, I mean, Yandy was like, did I call your ex? No. Like, where is this coming from? And again, I say, that was last year. If you really felt like Yandy or somebody in your camp called Cameron and said something out of pocket, that was the time to address it. Not now. Like, I hate when people do that. We're having a conversation about one thing and you want to bring up every fucking thing I ever did. I hate that. Don't do that. We're talking about this and this right here, and that's where this conversation needs to start and end. All of this bringing up shit from 20 years ago, and don't do that. Don't do that. I can't stand that. And I like JuJu. I do. But I don't like this storyline. I don't like them making such a big deal out of this. Being private does not equate being sneaky. And Jonathan is messy. He's just fucking messy. This whole thing is messy. Alright. Now we on to the storyline that was getting on my nerves too. Like, again, I was trying to rock with y'all, but these storylines are just killing me. So we see Rich Dollaz meet up with his artist. Her name is Sydney. And Jacquay meets up with them. Sydney is extra. Over the top from the word go. Walks in the door extra. Walks in the door extra. And she starts telling him that she's hungry for this. She's been trying to get into music. You know, Rich Dollaz said, you know, she's been jumping in my DMs for like 2 years now. And I'm just so ready for this. I'm so ready for my career to take off. And Jacquay is like, okay, you doing a lot, but all right. So then she was like, well, you want to hear me drop a freestyle? Want to hear me drop a freestyle? And he was like, all right, yeah, let me hear what you got. So she starts doing this freestyle where she's, first of all, and then she starts hitting the, yeah. And he was like, which is what I would have done the exact same thing. And I ain't even no damn producer. I'd have been like, what? And then she started talking about, she did start rapping, she twerking, she standing up in the restaurant, she being loud, other people looking around, looking at her crazy. And she starts rapping about her dick being big. and my dick this and my dick that. And Jacquay is like, and he said, you know, you mentioned, like, she said, so what you think? And he said, well, you know, your rap was actually pretty decent, but I heard 3 different times you say something about a dick. She said, yeah, I'm trans. Didn't we just do this in Love and Hip Hop Hollywood? And I understand that Juelz is not trans, but his whole storyline was, I'm a bisexual rapper, I'm a bisexual rapper, I'm a bisexual rapper, I'm a bisexual rapper. Did we not just do this? No disrespect to anybody. This has nothing to do with the LGBTQ community. This is all about Mona recycling storylines. Okay? Now, this woman, Sydney, may be a great rapper. I don't know. I know she extra. I know she over the top. And it don't have nothing to do with her being trans. That's just me observing her whole aura about her. Then we see her talking to a friend, one of her, a good friend of hers later on, and she's talking about how hard it is to be a trans rapper in the game, and how hard this and how. And let me tell y'all something. I can't clock her. If she had never told me she was a trans rapper, I would have never known she was trans. I can't clock her. Now, maybe somebody with better eyes, maybe somebody who got a little more experience, maybe somebody who knew her when, but I couldn't clock her. So you could have went from, as far as I'm concerned, you could have went this whole season and never mentioned the fact that you were trans. For me. If you don't want people to make a big deal about you being trans, or you don't want people to call out you being trans, then maybe you shouldn't write lyrics about you having a big dick. And if I'm being insensitive or inappropriate, let me know. I'm sorry. Put it in the comments. I mean no disrespect. I really don't. I really don't. But I'm just trying to understand. You talking about how hard this is and how hard that is, but nobody would know. Just get up there and rap. Just get on stage and rap. Anyway, so that whole storyline was irritating me. We'll get back to them. Then we see Anais with her husband. I thought she was just going to be like a B character this season. They really trying to make her a main storyline. And you see her fussing with her husband, talking about she needs help around the house, that she's got these 2 kids. Her oldest son is autistic. She's got the youngest son, and how he's not really helping. He's not doing anything. Let me tell you another thing I'm sick of. I'm so sick of she's not even a single mother, because she got her husband who, for all intents and purposes, could have left her ass last year, but it looks like they don't work things out, and she back at home, and she complaining about how he doesn't do enough around the house, and she's tired of him not doing anything, picking up after the kids, washing clothes, like he doesn't do anything. And he was like, well, I'm doing the best I can, but what you want me to do? He was like, I gotta work. What, you don't want me to work? That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you need to help around the house. You need to do more, because my career's not popping, and the older I get, like, I'm not doing this for the next 15 weeks. I'm not doing that. I ain't. So I don't know what they're gonna do with this Anais storyline. I don't know, but I ain't doing that for the next 15 weeks. I ain't doing it. Alright, so let's get back to Juelz and Miss Kimbella. Kimbella goes to visit him in the studio, and they get to talking. And Kimbella starts talking about, should he take the plea and all that again. And he said he talked to his lawyer, and come to find out what he thought was going to be 24 to 36 months is now going to be 36 to 48 months. But if he goes to trial and loses, what he thought was going to be 5 years is going to be 7 years. And, basically what he thought was going to be is almost doubled. And, of course, Kimbella is like, oh, my gosh, this is almost double what we thought, what we were planning for. And I just can't do this. I just can't handle this. And she starts talking to him about, well, I just think you have never really had to deal with the consequences of your actions. I mean, I just feel like you've never. He was like, what? He was like, I went to jail. And I'm about to go to jail. What do you mean? And she was like, well, I just feel like, you've never really had to deal with, the consequences of the decisions that you've made. And you've just made these bad decisions. He's like, so basically, are you saying I need to go to jail? Like, that's what you're trying to say? You're trying to say I deserve to go to jail? That's not what I'm saying. Well, that's what it sounded like to me. It sounded to me like you were trying to say that this man need to go to jail. And maybe that's how you feel. You are entitled to that. You are entitled to feel like, look, If he doesn't stop, he's going to continue to do the same thing. And his bad decisions have put me and my family in this situation. You are entitled to that. You are 100% entitled to feel that way. But be real and be honest in that that's how you feel. That's how you feel. You know, he said, well, look, I'm going to end this conversation right here because it's about to go left. I agree. Because I don't know where she was going either. I don't understand what she was trying to say. I don't understand the point she was trying to make either, boo. So I'm with you. This whole conversation need to be tabled because it's going left. Now, well, we'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Next, we see Rich Dollaz, Jacquay. Jacquay is on stage with the was Nia Lee, who was the person that used to work with Rich back in the day. I guess on a few former seasons, and they're up on stage performing. Now, I don't know what the fuck she had on. First of all, and y'all correct me because I'm no fashionista. The whole belly chain thong with my jeans open with the tank top, I really thought that look was over. I thought Aaliyah did it. I think Beyonce did it for a while. I think Beyonce did it in the Soldier video where she had the jeans open showing the little so that's what she had up on stage. Half her ass is hanging out. She got on this bedazzled thong. I didn't get it. And then Jacquay talking about something she didn't calm down since she had a baby. That's calm? That's her calm? But anyway, so she comes through and her and Rich, you know, they jab at each other for a minute. And then here come Miss Sydney. Like a bulldozer, honey. She comes up into VIP and she is just a bulldozer. And she's getting in Nia Lee's face and she's just being real inappropriate. Like she's doing way too much. Like, I mean, to the point where Nia Lee was like, okay, I'm going to need you to stay out my personal space. Like, I'm going to need you to back up and I'm going to need you to stay out my space. What you talking about? I'm just happy to be here. Like, what you trying to do? And Rich was like, what? Like, Rich and Jacquay was like, look, let me tell you something, honey. He said, that type of energy, I'm not working with. He was like, you came in here doing way too much. You were insulting to another artist that I'm working with. You were disrespectful. You almost caused a scene. You almost caused a fight or whatever. Like, that I'm not doing. I can't work with that. I can't work through that. Like, that's, no. No. And, you know, she was like, dag, I'm messing up, you know, this is what I really been working for this all my life, and, you know, I finally got this opportunity. Oh, did I? Rewind. The other part of the conversation that Sydney had when she was talking to her friend, because I thought this was important, her friend, when she was telling him how, you know, she was really worried about the whole, people pegging her as transgender and how hard it's been for her to get in the game as a transgender artist. She said, you know, I finally got my meeting with Rich Dollaz. I finally got somebody to listen to me. And her friend was like, and what is Rich Dollaz going to do for you? What exactly you think he's going to do for you? And she was like, I mean, he's going to help me out. He was like, who has Rich Dollaz worked with that has gone on to go platinum? Like, who? And she was like, she named somebody, and he was just kind of like, and then she said Olivia. He was like, and then she said Erica Mena. Well, Erica Mena didn't really become popular for singing. He was like, exactly. So why exactly are you chasing Rich Dollaz down? And let me tell you something. I'm mad that I forgot that part when I said it, because that's what I was thinking too when Rich was like, she been in my DMs for the last 2 years, da-da-da-da-da. Why? Out of all the people whose DMs you could have been in, that's whose DMs that's who you was stalking on Instagram? That's who you been stalking. Rich Dollaz? Okay. Alright then, boo. Maybe you see something that clearly I don't see. Alright, last but not least, we see Kimbella, Juelz, they go to court. Now look, here's what I can't stand. Call me old school, call me an old lady, call me what you want, I don't give a fuck. Just spell my name right. But look, since when do we just not dress for the occasion? You are going to court. You are getting ready to be sentenced whether you take the plea or you go and move forward with your case, you're going before the judge. The judge probably already thinks some kind of way about you because you a rapper. You got a rap sheet. You know, like you was on drugs. Like, he probably already has an idea about you. You show up in a motherfucking plaid button-up shirt that could very easily be mistaken for some gang attire to an ignorant person who don't know any better. You got a motherfucking fitted baseball cap on and some jeans. And then Kimbella, she got on some off-the-shoulder tank top and some goddamn tight-ass jeans. Are you serious right now? That's how you showed up for court, and your attorney was cool with that? Do you understand how fast I would have sent your ass into the bathroom with a suit? Are you crazy? Now, I don't know if this is one of those scenes that was just contrived for the purpose, because we saw them go into the courthouse. We didn't see nothing with the court. We didn't see no lawyer. We didn't see shit. We just saw them in an Uber pull up in front of the court. So this may not have even been a real scene. But I don't give a damn. At least pretend like that's how you showed up for court. That's crazy. Ain't no way in hell I would show up for court in a damn button-up, flannel-ass button-up shirt and a fitted hat. And if my son, uncle, cousin, brother did it, I'd whoop their ass too. The hell is wrong with people? People just they don't dress for the occasion anymore. Anyway, he decides to take the plea. Then they get to arguing. Him and Kimbella get to arguing on the way home from court. And that's just nervous energy. That argument was a totally silly argument. It was just based off of being afraid, being scared, being worried, not knowing what's going to happen next, losing your husband / boyfriend, whatever, your soulmate, whatever the fuck y'all are, for the next 2 years of your life. That's what that was. I ain't even going to put no weight into that argument. I ain't even going to dissect that argument. All that was nervous energy. That was fear. She talking about well, if this is how you feel, then let's just end it right now. Then, bitch, you ain't going nowhere. If you ain't went nowhere in the last 10 years, you ain't going nowhere now. You're about to be a ride or die. You're going to be up there every visiting day. You're going to be putting money on his books. You're going to be putting money in his commissary. You're going to be a ride or die. Your ass ain't going nowhere. Anyway, y'all, that's the episode. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.